This is HRTV Rewind, taking a look back at the racing week.
We've got the kickoff of the Stroob Series on Saturday. The San Fernando will go as the 8th race, a Grade 2 event at 1 mile and a 16th. And you can never say Bob Baffert is not, if anything, not only a champion trainer and a Hall of Famer, but a great spotter of horses, and he brings back Prayer for Relief.
Prayer for Relief got to have a big chance. He's 9-5 on John White's morning line.
I'll tell you one thing, Steve Asmussen is going to have something to say about it. On the outside is the son of Tapazar. This was a horse that I think on the early Derby picture, a lot of people felt this could be one of the main contenders. Now, obviously, it did not work out that way.
Yeah.
Coming back as a 4-year-old, what do you make of Tapazar?
Well, I think that the storyline is kind of the same as it probably was leading into last spring, and that is they want to get him to conserve his energy and not be too rank early. And if he can do that, who knows? He could really have a sensational year. But I think they want him to be handy, and it's going to be interesting. Baffert's horse, I think, is the one to beat. But if Tapazar can relax early on, who knows? Well, it's going to be very interesting.
In any poll or ranking of the greatest California-bred racehorses of all time, the name Best Pal certainly must be included. And as is seemingly so many times the case when a Hall of Fame gelding is being discussed, his is a story of rags to riches. Foaled in the spring of 1988 in Ramona, California at Mr. and Mrs. John C. Mabie's Golden Eagle Farm, Best Pal came from thoroughly undistinguished bloodlines. In fact, the only other 2 stakes winners produced by his first 4 dams won their races on the California Fair circuit. But if Best Pal wasn't cut out to be one of the truly great racehorses of his generation, he didn't know it. A winner of his racing debut in May of his 2-year-old season, Best Pal quickly established himself as one of the best juveniles in North America, ultimately winning 5 stakes races in 1990 for trainer Ian Jory, including the Grade 1 Norfolk during the Oak Tree meeting.
Pat Valenzuela and Best Pal romping home to win at about 4 lengths in the end. Pillaring was second.
It is hardly unusual for a top-class 2-year-old to fizzle at 3, but Best Pal would have none of that so-called sophomore jinx, though he did fall short of his primary spring goal, the Kentucky Derby.
Far away from the rail, strike the gold, wins the Derby by a length and a half.
Though failing to take home a Triple Crown trophy and then being transferred to trainer Gary Jones, Best Pal would, a few months later, win his own classic. That is the inaugural running of the Pacific Classic, a $1 million 10-furlong wait for age affair at Del Mar that included, among others, the previous year's Kentucky Derby winner, Unbridled. But it wasn't until the following winter at Santa Anita that Best Pal truly began to dominate the older handicap division. He began his 1992 campaign with a convincing victory in the San Fernando Stakes, rallying from 7th under jockey Kent DeSormo to win going away.
And it's Best Pal looking like a star 4-year-old under Kent DeSormo as he draws clear in the San Fernando. And Best Pal is impressive as ever, goes on to win it. Olympio a game second.
Next, it was the Stroob Stakes, only this time, Best Pal was close to the pace every step of the way. And when DeSormo asked the gelding for his very best when it mattered the most, Best Pal was up to the challenge.
But Best Pal, the son of Abertoni, has won the Charles H. Stroob from Dinard. Rain Road was...
As we would learn 4 weeks later, Best Pal was just starting to warm up. Back down to 8-5 favoritism in the Santa Anita Handicap, Best Pal was never better.
Best Pal in a formality. What a superstar he's turned out to be. Best Pal robs home in the big cap. Twilight Agenda was...
Remarkably, Best Pal was able to hold his brilliant form for 3 more years, winning several stakes, including the Hollywood Gold Cup in 1993, the Native Diver Handicap in '94, and as a 7-year-old, the Skywalker Stakes at Oak Tree. He was eventually retired in the winter of 1996 with a career record of 18 wins from 47 starts and earnings of $5.6 million. But tragically, Best Pal did not have long to enjoy his retirement. 2 years later, the heart that helped him thrill so many racing fans during his career failed him. And today, Best Pal is buried at the site of his birth at Golden Eagle Farm. But he is always fondly remembered, and in 2010, Best Pal was honored by his inclusion into racing's Hall of Fame. Today he ranks second only to Tisnow on the all-time earnings list among racehorses bred in California.
He just celebrated a birthday, and Baffert was kind enough to talk to us about Prayer for Relief. Listen up.
He's been doing well. We brought him around sort of easy for this race because this is going to be a prep for the next one, and so he's doing well. He just mile and 16th might be a little short for him, you know, the way the speed's been playing, but he looks good. He's been training well. So well, he runs in the this one, and then there's a Strube. Then after that, we have to decide if we go to Dubai with him or run him in the big cap, because, you know, the further the better for this horse.
Talk about balladry. I mean, this is your first time. It's interesting that you would take your first stakes effort and go in the San Fernando.
Well, it is. It's a good question, but it's a straight 4-year-old race. He's a 4-year-old. It's one of the last opportunities between now and the end of the rest of the year. You got the Strube, obviously, but that's it. Get to run against your own age group, and hopefully hopefully it pays off.
I love the close on this horse. You're looking at horse Prayer for Relief. Bob Baffert's already said, not fully cranked up. So maybe it is the great spot for this one. Likes to close. Are we going to see a similar tactic than we saw last time?
Yeah, I don't think you have any choice with this horse. That's his style of running. The day he won 2 races back with Bejarano, I actually told him, I said, listen, try and get him into the race. If you're on the lead, so be it. Well, hell, he was 20 lengths off the lead at the quarter pole, and he won. I think that's just the way he is. It just takes him a while to get going. He just keeps grinding. And I think if you try and take that away from him, you're going to get nothing.
December 26th, 2011, in front of 40,000 plus, Bob Baffert's ace sprinter delivers a round 1 knockout.
The Factor and Martin Garcia romp home in the Malibu.
But the Malibu champ will not participate in round 2, leaving the Strube Series vacant for the 27th consecutive year. Enter his stablemate, a 3-time Derby winner.
Here comes Prayer for Relief. Prayer for Relief dives up, gets up to win a half length.
And Steve Asmussen. He trains the favorite, a talented front-running bay colt, back at the scene of his biggest victory.
Tapazar and Garrett Gomez coming home with his ears pricked to win the Sham Stakes by almost 4.
Today, the second leg of the Strube Series, the Grade 2 San Fernando Stakes, is next.
Here's Prayer for Relief coming to take him on. Balladry in the white sleeves. Balladry bounding home. Tapazar finds more on the lead. They come for home, and it is still Tapazar widening now. He's going clear by 3. Balladry, Prayer for Relief for second, but Tapazar had no intention of slowing down today. And a big performance from Tapazar and Corey Nakatani as they romp in the San Fernando. Close for second, Prayer for Relief and Balladry.
We talked about it, Steve and I, and he said, wherever you're comfortable, I'm comfortable. And he said, just keep him relaxed wherever he's at, doesn't matter where he is, and just let him do his running and let him run his race. And that's what we did, and obviously he showed he was much the best. I mean, he was just cruising around the far turn. I was like, wow. And I just was trying to get him to focus, come on in the lane the first, because he's like, ooh, just kind of playing us as, oh, we're loaded. He's doing it easy, and what more can you say about Steve? He's just giving me a tremendous support throughout the last year, this year, and hopefully we can win a Derby this year, and Tapazar's back.
Santa Ynez Field also looks like a very, very contentious race.
It does, and that's going to be one of 2 features on Sunday. This one goes early. It'll go as the 4th, and 6.5 furlongs on the main track, and a competitive field here. Bejarano rides for a small barn. Jim Kasparov, he's got Made to Lover, and Jim just does a great job. So top to bottom, a competitive field here.
What kind of trip are you hoping for?
Well, I think with the Peter Miller filly and a couple of the other fillies that look like they have speed to their outside, it looks like we should get a pretty good pace set up. And, I'm thinking she's going to be inside sitting probably, 3rd or 4th, and, let them run away from her. And, hopefully, they'll set it up a little bit for us, and, we can come finish.
Pete, Renee's got Zip, 1 start under her belt. She's by City Zip. That was a huge effort. Do you have any concerns moving forward?
Well, you're always afraid that they could possibly bounce, but she's shown no signs of it. She's, training well. She's eating well. She's got good energy. So, you know, hopefully she doesn't bounce and she runs back to her first race.
Do you figure her to be on the lead as well?
She should be on the lead. Looks like she's got the most speed in the race, and you know, drawn inside like that, I think we're going to go ahead and send her out to the lead.
But Renee's got Zip opened up on them now to lead it by 4 lengths. Candrea made to love her on the outside and Painted Woman at the rail. They come into the 16th pole and Renee's got Zip, a scintillating performance. Absolutely 5-star effort. Renee's got Zip, the daughter of City Zip, could not have been more impressive under Cory Nakatani.
She didn't get away as good as I wanted her to, but just being the first time over here at Santa Anita and coming out of the chute, she was like, oh, what's this, you know, but she's very talented. Pete's doing a great job with her, and, you know, this one's for Terry, and obviously he's looking down on us because she ran a tremendous race today.
Ella Fitz holds on to this lead as they come to the 16th. It's Ella Fitz in front by 5 lengths. Now Downhill Diva coming out the pack, but Ella Fitz is going to roll all the way, and Ella Fitz and Martine Garcia go on to win it clear.
Well, Mr. Bob told me just let her run whatever she's comfortable in. That's exactly that one she want to run. And then just let her run.
And she finished well. You still had a little bit left towards at the end at the wire?
Yeah, well, I got to teach him something to run in the wire.
Coming up on HRTV Rewind.
It's a comparable field, but there are some horses with very good form in against him, including Master of Power.
He comes to work, you know, in a good mood, obviously. And he shows up every morning, and all he wants to do is put his best foot forward, like I said. So I have a lot of faith in that horse.
You're watching HRTV Rewind.
He's training great. He loves his racetrack. He's worked well every single time. It's a long time off, but he's run well fresh. A couple times we had to give him some time. He's had feet issues and other things, but training great, doing well. You know, expect him to run well. Whether he wins or not, you know, we'll just see. I think he's going to run well. I mean, you know, it just, you know, I'd be surprised if he did. Now, whether, you know, Jackson Bend's a Grade 1 stakes winner, and, you know, he's much more current and everything, so, you know, it's not an easy race. That's the bottom line. So, you know, we're just hoping he runs well, and then we look forward, hopefully, something like the Don or whatever.
You know, he's up against it. There's two things I'm afraid of, obviously the weight and the fence, but, you know, he's won a race on the rail, so we'll see what happens. But it's beautiful. It's a blessing to see him come back, and excited about him running today.
No, he looks like he's working really well over at Palm Meadows. How is he coming into the race from a training standpoint?
Well, one thing about it, he comes to work happy every day. I wish I could say that about everybody else, but he comes to work, you know, in a good mood, obviously. And he shows up every morning, and all he wants to do is put his best foot forward, like I said. So hopefully he'll run well, and I have a lot of faith in that horse.
Jackson Bend's behind a wall of horses. Now he swings out for his late run. A furlong to run, and here comes Jackson Bend. Jackson Bend moves up to take the lead. Sangaree's going to go with him. Jackson Bend and Sangaree on the inside. Cool Blue Red Hot. It's Jackson Bend in the Hal's Hope. Sangaree was second. Cool Blue Red Hot third. Soaring Empire was fourth.
He's a pretty nice horse. He's never seemed like he was big stakes company, but the smaller stakes he was able to handle. And I thought he moved up very well last time. And this race is here, and it's the only thing I can find for him right now, so he's in it. All I can do is get my horse there in the best shape possible, and I feel like he's that way. I can't do anything about the company because, like I say, it's the only race for him right now, and I don't want to wait forever. So.
Silver Medallion rolls up on the outside of them. Guy's Reward is finishing fast too. It's Yummy with Butter and Silver Medallion. Silver Medallion takes the lead. Hollinger closing late. Silver Medallion won it over Yummy with Butter. Then Hollinger and Kindergarten Kid.
We gave him a little bit of time and kind of was a little easy on him for his workouts after the Breeders' Cup just because we were sort of pointing towards this race because this being the only stake since then on the grass. And then I sort of tighten the screws the last couple of works, and he's come out of the works very, very well. And we should be ready for today. From a jockey standpoint, you know, my guy will be able to watch the inside and see how the race is going and how it comes up. And, we'll go from there.
On the far outside, Great Attack is right there. Private Jet is behind them. Little Nick and Great Attack. These two, Great Attack, Little Nick, rushing through at the fence comes Private Jet, and he goes by them late. Private Jet's going to do it. It was Great Attack second, Little Nick third, and then Market Cat.
In the 2000 Guineas trial, well, Mike de Kock debuts a former Argentinian called Enjoy Dubai, who's one of two Southern Hemisphere horses, Southern Hemisphere 3 years old in the race. So they'll have to give weight away to their Northern Hemisphere counterparts. Dark Matter is the other one. He's trained in Singapore, and his form in Singapore is very good. 8 starts, 4 wins and 3 placings. 2 wins and 1 placing on the all-weather. He certainly looks to be a good chance in the race.
Surfer deeper out, and Marty coming through in the centre of a line of 4. Rassam feeling the pinch now. Dark Matter on the fence going after him. Rassam in front. Ted goes for Dark Matter now. Dark Matter from Singapore takes the lead from Rassam. He begins to forge clear. King let out wide late, too late. Dark Matter, 1 for south of the line.
It's a comparable field, but there are some horses with very good form in against him, including Master of House. He ran second at the UAE Derby here in March, and then I thought ran a very creditable race behind Animal Kingdom at Churchill Downs in the Kentucky Derby. He'll have to be considered now that he's prepared by Mike de Kock, and another of Mike's horses, Move Server, you'll remember, won the Derby at Meydan 2 years ago, and then raced well last season, finishing second behind Twice Over in the 3rd round of the Maximum Challenge before being down the track behind Big Park Queezer in the Dubai World Cup. And most recently, back in September, the early part of September, he won a very good international race in Turkey. So it's a good field again for the first round of the Maximum Challenge.
200 left to go, and Mousser's gone for home. Raced away from Secrecy. Mendip's 1 paced. He's battling to hold down 3rd. Master of Hounds out wide, running an eye-catching race, but the stablemates bolted in. Mousser first, Master of Hounds second, Secrecy 3rd.
Coming up on HRTV Rewind.
Presenting the Secretariat Vox Populi Award to owner Robert Cole of Rapid Redux, one of the greatest jockeys of all time, and a guy who was pretty familiar with Secretariat himself, the great Lafitte Pinkai Jr.
Here comes Cherokee Queen, and Cherokee Queen with a win of quality and class.
You're watching HRTV Rewind.
Hi, I'm Penny Chenery, and I'm really sorry that I can't be with you today when we make this award. The Vox Populi Award came about because racing has its established awards, the Eclipse Awards, and by year the Champion 2-year-old, Grass Horse, etc. But very often there is a horse that doesn't fit into any of those categories that the people really love, that is just a fan favorite and a hard trier. And I'm delighted to announce that this award is being made today to Rapid Redux, who won 19 straight races in 1 calendar year and 22 races overall. It's a threefold award, not only the horse with his skill and determination, but his trainer and his owner. This is a great skill that horsemen recognize. The horse does the racing, but his owner and trainer do the managing. So congratulations to all 3 of you. The wonderful horse, Rapid Redux, his owner, Robert Cole, and trainer, David Wells. Just a wonderful performance from all 3 of you, and I'm really sorry not to be there to tell you that, and I hate to miss a good party.
Presenting the Secretariat Vox Populi Award to owner Robert Cole of Rapid Redux, one of the greatest jockeys of all time, and a guy who was pretty familiar with Secretariat himself, the great Lafitte Pinkai Jr. How about a big round of applause, folks? He's won his last 22, The streak started out December 2nd, 2010. You just won at Laurel on January 4th, and you're giving this guy a well-deserved break right now.
Yeah, he's a little tired naturally, and he hasn't lost a race since November of 2010, and we'll see what we can do about getting him back in the spring and give him a little break and so he stays on top of his game.
Don, an Oklahoma bred, she was perfect at Remington Park, and once she took her show on the road on Delta Jackpot Day in the Princess and won, now we all know how good she is. In your opinion, how good is she?
Well, she continues to amaze me each time. I think she can handle anything. I had no qualms about running her a mile after she'd been sprinting because that was a bull ring, and they have to go around 2 turns. And my jock had ridden a lot of bull rings, and being a filly that's going to be on the lead.
And Now I Know is getting a test from Amy's Dini, but it is Now I Know under confident handling, the reins shaking at her, and she responds. Amy's Dini, a valiant effort, 2 lengths back second, and then it's Rocket 21. It is Now I Know, and her record remains unblemished as she captures the Dixie Belle stylishly.
Well, we received her back at Keeneland in the fall, and after just a week or so of galloping, you could tell she was moving forward well, and everything seems to be really good. No looking back. We're racing her on the turf for the first time, and so we really don't know how she'll handle that. The Tappets have done very well on the turf, so we're trying to look at that as well. You know, by having her and Habit of Grace, if she was to perform well on the turf today, it may give us an option of keeping her on the turf to keep her and Habit of Grace in separate divisions and away from each other. This isn't the easiest spot in the world, although it looks like an allowance race. There's a couple of horses in here that got credentials that if we don't run our best race, we could get beat.
Joyful Victory, Maggie's Ransom. Vicky's in town on the far outside, Distorted Love and Bet on the Blue, Final Furlong. Instant Style in front by 1.5 lengths to Joyful Victory. At the inside, Miss Heatherly. Inside the final 16th, it's Instant Style. Instant Style has won it from Joyful Victory.
We're taking a look at the Marie G. Krantz Memorial Handicap for $75,000 to go on 1 1/16 miles over the Firm turf course for today. By the way, the main track is fast, but taking a look at this turf stakes, Cherokee Queen, it's all about her. She's looking for back-to-back stakes wins. She is a graded stakes winner. She benefited from that yielding turf course. I think she's going to be tough again. Second start off that break for Steve Margolis and Sean Bridgmahan.
Cherokee Queen is charging hard on the far outside. Skipping Town is next. And toward the inside, Pleasantly Blessed. She's adorable, in a bit tight toward the rail. Juanita just led. Cherokee Queen strides on the outside. Here comes Cherokee Queen. And Cherokee Queen, with a win of quality and class, beats Juanita, then Pleasantly Blessed.
That's all for Rewind this week. Here's a look at what's coming up next week on HRTV.
We get to talk to Mike Willem, the Saturn Willman.
By the way, I understand Zoe, what's her name?
Cadman?
Well, she had trouble with my name.
What's his name again? Willman. Right?
Willman.
Mike Willman.
The future ex-Mrs. Cadman.
We love. What? Okay. Aqueduct Race 2 in 1 minute. We'll leave that one alone.
Yes, we will. Come on, Cadman. We're taking the gloves.